Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel if you're new here. Hey, my name is Chantel. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. We are going to be doing my green books on my bookshelves today. I'm going to go through them, give a very short synopsis, and show you all of the beautiful additions that I have. I don't know how many green books I have in total, but I will put that on the screen right here so you guys will know. Um, I know it is one of my larger sections, not as big as my blue or my black or even my pink, but a lot larger than my orange, my red, my yellow, um, even like my purple and stuff, or my like white silver even. So it is one of the larger sections. Hopefully it won't take too much time to go through them all, but without further ado, let's get on to it. All right, for our first one, we have Pride and Premeditation. This is by Tirza Price, and this is basically a not modern, but it's a retelling of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, but it is like a suspense thriller mystery. Not really thriller, more of a mystery. And it's YA. It follows 17-year-old Lizzie Bennett, obviously, and Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. And they go head to head or toe to toe in a murder case in London high society. So it should be pretty interesting. I did start it, but you know, you know me. I got like 30 pages in and was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna sit this down, and then I never completed it. But this book is 354 pages, and also this is a part of a series, but I don't know if it fits, like if all of these characters are also in the other books, or if they just have like the Sense and Sensibility, that kind of thing, if they intermingle or not. Okay, next one is Whence Came a Prince by Liz Curtis Higgs. This is the third book in the series, but I can't for the life of me remember what the series is called. I'm not sure. But I have the first two books on Kindle, and I have this book and the fourth book on physical copy, but that fourth one isn't a green book because, it's a different color. So there's this one. Both those books are very low TBR priority, but so is this one because I can't read it because I haven't read the first one. This is A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. Yeah. We have Nora Goes Off Script. This is by Annabelle Monaghan, and basically it follows a romance channel screenwriter, and it's her job, but her husband leaves her and her two kids, and she basically like writes the best script of her life based off of, or like after her husband leaves her, she turns the heartbreak into fuel for the fire and gets like a really good deal and stuff, blah blah. And then her script is picked up for the big screen, and the person who plays her ex-husband is Leo Vance, who is like the like hottest guy alive, basically. Like how in People magazine or whatever magazine, they always say like this is the hottest person alive for this year, whatever. And that follows that. It says relatively short. I don't know how many pages it is, but it feels short. 257 pages. So should be a cute short read. Then we have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I'm really excited for this book, mostly because it includes special content from Barnes Noble. I also got this book used for like, I'm not even gonna lie, I think it was like $2. Or no, $4. $4 from St. Vincent de Paul. Like literally, this is It was brand new. Like, I don't even know if they actually read it. I was like, but this one basically is a man who must contend with the long ago disappearance of his childhood best friend and the dark secrets lurking just behind the safe confines of his picture perfect neighborhood. And Ethan Marsh, basically a 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor Billy fell asleep in a tent, and then someone sliced the tent open with a knife and took Billy, and he was never seen again. And then 30 years later, um, basically, Ethan is plagued with dreams and insomnia, and yeah, like all this stuff keeps on happening. Is Billy alive? Is the killer or kidnapper? Have they come back? Dun dun dun. That's the main synopsis. But it sounds really good. I am kind of scared. I'm excited and I'm scared for this book because the last two Riley Sagers I read The Last Time I Lied and The Only One Left, and those just were not that big of hits for me, which was really disappointing because I loved House Across the Lake. There were some things where I definitely knew, I'm like, okay, yes, I already know that. I know it's happening there. But then there were some twists where like, so I'm curious. And also, it's kind of refreshing to see that it's a male protagonist in Riley Sager's books because I feel like usually, I don't know if it's a man or woman, I don't think it says. Um, oh, he now lives. Oh, I've heard some people say that it's a woman, but I guess it is a he. Um, because a lot of times it wouldn't say, so people just had to guess. But yeah, I feel like a lot of his books are female protagonists, so this one's a male protagonist. So it's kind of refreshing to see the difference because I feel like a lot of thrillers are through the eyes of women. Whatever, I'm not sure why that's just so common within that genre, but it should be interesting to see a male perspective on this. All right, for the next one, we have What Did You Do? This is the second book in the Infatuated Fae series by Janine O'Reilly, and I'm so excited for this book. This is high priority, baby, because I really need to know what happens. I want to know what happens with Kelly and Mendix and all the things. This also actually follows the perspective of the Sealy Queen Saracen, which should be interesting. So I'm excited. Also, the cover, stunning. I love the monarch butterflies. Just beautiful. But I can't say too much about this one because it definitely spoils the first book. So that's all you get. Then we have The Kiss of Deception. This is by Mary E. Pearson. Pearson, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. But this one is about a girl who flees on her wedding day. Basically, she steals these ancient documents and she's pursued by bounty hunters sent by her father, and she is a princess. She's 17 and the first daughter of the House of Morrigan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, and they're like super steeped in tradition and all this stuff. And basically, she escapes to a distant village, and she's kind of like is on the down low among the village people. And then two strangers arrive, and she's unaware that one is the jilted prince and the other one is assassin sent to kill her. So that's interesting. And this is a part of a 3-book trilogy, and it's followed by the Dance of Thieves duology. So I'm excited to read this. This is medium high priority. If I don't read this in November, I would like to read it in January. I know it's skipping a month there. It's only because December I mostly read holiday books. So probably January. Then we have A Refuge Assured by Jocelyn Green. Love the cover. I'm not usually a fan of people on covers, but I like that it's just a lady and you can't really see her face. It just looks very feminine. And I love the like bluish green that she's wearing. It's so pretty. But this one is about a woman named Vivian Rivard, and she's fleeing one revolution after the aftermath of another. Fleeing one revolution to the aftermath of another, and basically she's a lace maker, and it's set in revolutionary France, and she basically flees to Philadelphia, but then everything went down in America and after the revolution and the new government and all this stuff. And there's like basically a guy who served in the militia named Liam, and you just know that like they're probably gonna fall in love. There's a lot of like intrigue and suspense, and it's historical, so I'm sure I love it. I love historical fiction. Then we have The Conjurer's Riddle. This is by Andrea Kremer. This is the second book in that Inventor's Secret Saga that I was talking about in the previous bookshelf tour video for the reds, yellows, and oranges. And I'm not that excited for this book. I know that I should honestly put it on my TBR or just pick it up and read it and get it over with. I know it sounds terrible, but I'm not really looking forward to it. And maybe I should just DNF it, but then I feel like I don't know. I already read the first book. I'm like, might as well just see what happens. If I absolutely hate it, then I can DNF it. But I should try it out, right? I don't know. Anyway, can't say too much because it is the second book in a series, and I don't want to spoil. So that's all you get. Then we have The Siren of Sussex by Me Matthews. This book is actually a book that I have a reading vlog associated with, and as you can see, it's still unread. I read like 13 pages, I think. What was it? 13? 10 pages. I read 10 pages, hated it, said probably just not in the mood for this kind of book. So it might not actually be the book, it might just be me. So I'm putting it down. I'm going to let it sit for a couple months, and I'm just going to let it chill and marinate, and I'll pick it back up, just restart it, and it should be fine. And maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll just absolutely adore it. I don't know. So I don't want to just DNF it because I didn't. There are some aspects I did like, and there are some aspects where I was already annoyed with the main character. Actually, both main characters, the male and female main characters. So we'll see. But yeah, this one is Evelyn Maltravers and Hamed Malik, and he is basically a tailor, but he has to not like people can't know that he's the actual tailor. They have to think that he's like the apprentice to the like older gentleman that like runs the store because of racism and prejudice in was it 18 what year is this supposed to be 1862 in London, England. And then Evelyn Maltravers, she's like, well, I basically want to um, make make herself like a really big horseback riding person. I'm not sure, like, I don't know what exactly. And then she needs a habit, but she can't go to all these different habit makers because she did blue sacking, blah, 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 blah. He agrees to make a habit for her, you know. But yeah, very low priority, at least right now. Okay, that's it for shelf one.
Wow!
Now on to shelf number two. I actually don't have as many books as I originally thought, which is good. That means this video won't be super, super long, but it also means that I just need to pick basically double the amount of blue, black, and pink books that I have. So, yay me. All right, the next book that we have is Collide, and this is by Val Carabra. I'm so sorry, I'm probably totally butchering that. I wish there was a pronunciation guide on some of these last names. As someone with a difficult last name, I know that it sucks when I hear someone just totally butcher it, but I don't know how. So, um, I feel bad, but this one is about Summer Preston. She also can talk about how adorable this cover is. I just love a little cartoon cover. They're so cute. But basically, she is a thesis advisor, or she is under a thesis advisor, and she has to she's given an ultimatum basically that she can fail or she can do the things that she needs to do to be able to become a sports psychologist. And she meets Aiden, who is a hockey player, and she has some kind of like trauma, I guess you could say, or history with hockey, people in hockey. I can't say too much though, as a spoiler. I have read some of this book. And basically, Aiden is captain of the hockey team, and a reckless mistake by Aiden's teammates threatened to jeopardize their entire season. So, as punishment, Aiden's coach nominates him as the subject of a student research project. And basically, Summer and Aiden have to team up together. She can't stand him. They fall in love. Let's be real. That's what's going to happen. But it'll be fun to see them hate each other for, 100 pages before they all fall in love. Then we have More Than Words Can Say. It's by Karen Whitmire. I love her. I love her books. She is probably one of my favorites because although she writes like clean historical romance, it's not cringy. So I know sometimes where I'm just like, ugh, like they're praying and it's like these and thous and stuff, and I'm just like, oh Lord, like I love a clean Christian historical romance just as much as anyone does, but sometimes they are a little cringy. And as someone who is a Christian, I can admit that. But Karen, love her. She's fantastic. She's not cringy. Or the cover sometimes I'm like, okay. But this one is about Zacharias, we'll call him Zach, and Abigail, and basically he has some issues of his own. He's very sad, sad boy. And Abigail, she needs a man's name on the deed to her bakery because city council is being a big jerk to her. And it's a marriage of convenience trope, which is one of my top tropes of all time. So love to see it. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this book. It's probably a little bit on the low priority list just because I know that I can read it anytime. And I just got this book within the past year and a half. I believe it was this early this year. So it'll be okay if I don't read it this year. I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? And this one is A More Than Meets the Eye, also by Karen Whitmire. And it's you can't I don't know if this one or the other one is the first book technically in that like little series, but one of them is, I don't know. And this one is about Evangeline and um Logan. Mm-mm-mm. I think this one is the second book. Feels like the second book. I can't actually give a synopsis of this because it's a little spoilery for that one. Fun. Okay. Obviously, even lower because we read that one first then. All right, then we have Secret Tides. This is by Gary E. Parker. This is book one of the Southern Tides series. And this one, I love the way that they have like the little things up here, like old, when was this written? You can just kind of tell, yeah, 2004. You can just tell by the way the back cover is. I love it. Two women, one free, one a slave, trapped by loss and lies, longing for lasting love and the freedom to follow their dreams. Two brothers, working side by side on the oak plantation, but vastly divided in issues of the heart. Five families, intertwined by the tides of change sweeping the world as the Civil War approaches. Dun dun dun. Hopefully, I like this book. When it comes to historical fiction set during the years of the Civil War, especially in the South, it's always very hit or miss for me. Sometimes I feel like it's dealt with appropriately, and other times I feel like it's a little too white savory ish for me, if that makes sense. But hopefully this one's good. I've never read Gary E. Parker, I don't believe, so I will have to see if he fits the bill. Okay, the next book is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I'm so excited. This is Megan Quinn. Just love love, love. Oh, my tabs. I love the cover. It's so cute. I love a little cartoonish. It's just it fits everything. Basically, this is also a really thick book. So it's like, yeah, she's chunky. Coal Black, storyteller. She loves Christmas. He's like, can we not, please? And she moves in next door to care for her aunt. And then Story's like, oh, actually, I want to enter this town Christmas Kringle contest. And basically, Cole's like, she's not going to win this contest. Even if I hate Christmas, I'm going to win this contest because I can't stand this lady. And basically, with his friend Max, Cole enters competition just to beat Story at her own game. And then, yeah, um, that was to fall in love, and shenanigans ensues. But it also has a cutie little, find it. Where is it? Here. There's little illustrations, and they're so cute. I'm so excited for this book. Yeah, this is a high priority in the sense of in December, like December 1st, like I said, I will be reading this book. I'm so excited. Okay, and then the last book we have is Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. This is a meant to be novel. It's part of like a little collection of books. It's technically a series, but you don't have to read them in any order. And it follows, there's like tons of different authors that have written in them. I know Jesse Q. Sutanto has written one, Jasmine Guillory, which I have read that one by the book. There's one by Julie Murphy or Julia Murphy. I can't remember her name. And there's one more. I always forget her name, and that one is the Ariel book. I cannot think of her name. It's terrible. I can picture the cover in my head. It escaped me. Anyway, oh, actually, I wonder if it says. I'm so smart. Julie Murphy, Cinderella, Jasmine Guillory, Belle, or Beauty and the Beast, and Zorida Cordova is Kiss the Girl, which is Ariel, obviously. And then Jesse Q. Sutanto wrote the Milan one. So this one, basically, I like how the other books don't actually have like the Disney characters' names as the main character. You just like kind of get like they're based off the fairy tales. Versus Jesse Q. Sutanto's, her name's actually Milan in the book and Shang, and I was just like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, I know, but just it kind of annoyed me when all the other books don't have that, and then hers. If you watch my other video, you know Jessica Santo and I have beef. One side beef. She just has no idea who I am. Um, she does. And basically, this one's about Ren. She is basically a homeschool jungle freak, as they say in Mean Girls, because she's never held an iPhone, Googled an answer to a question, or followed a crush on social media. But she's read tons of books and taught herself to paint, and she built a working wind power system from scratch. And basically, she wants to go to this college, and this guy named Fitz, he has the rest of his life mapped out. He wants to graduate from the university at the top of his class, get his criminal record wiped clean, pass himself as a rich, handsome player everyone thinks he is, and he's a few short months from checking off step one of his plans, and basically, um, Ren crashes into his life, and his plan is in jeopardy. And basically, they're assigned, like they have an assignment that they have to work together to complete the course. Blah blah blah. And obviously, they're gonna fall in love, and we love to see it. So, okay, so that's technically it for the books I have on my shelves behind me. But I do actually have two books that are on my October TBR that technically count as my green books, so I haven't read them yet. Technically, say him that word 3 times fast. I have Zom Rom Com by Olivia Dade, and that one follows a human and a vampire during a zombie apocalypse. And I think that sounds hilarious. So I'm very excited to read it. Obviously, it's very high priority because I have it on next month's TBR. And then I also have Axis Don't by Leah Dobrinska. That's the third book in the Fall in Love series, and I'm really excited to finish it. I'm 2 books in, 2 books away from finishing it. I think it's going to be amazing. There's X's Don't and Pros Don't that I have left, and I'm more excited for Pros Don't because that one follows a golfer and his coach slash manager person, and I think it sounds hilarious. And the X's Don't is it should be interesting. And basically, this is the last sister of Poppy and I forget her other sister's name. Um, I can't think. It's terrible. I should know. But anyway, the first guy from the first book, the guy from the fourth book, that they're brothers, and then the first girl, the second book's girl, and this book X's Don't girl, they're sisters. Okay. Hopefully that made sense. But anyway, I'm reading that one, and that one's gonna be really cute. It's X's. There is like a football player, but also a spy in it, and it's a little bit of everything, which I think is fun. So I'm excited for it. I think if there's any green books that I have that are not on my shelves, I probably shouldn't think about that because they're most definitely somewhere here in this room, and I just don't want to look through all my piles. But right now, that's what I have on my shelves. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.